Yeah, good morning, friends. Welcome to this demo on the Linux administration. As you know, this is your first demo session. Okay, I hope I'm audible and I hope you can see my screen. Can you please confirm in chat box, anyone? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Raja. Fine. So this is a Red Hat Linux server administration demo. And in this Red Hat Linux server administration introduction class, we will go with the Windows Server introduction also as well as AWS. But majorly, we'll be spending time on the Red Hat Linux Server administration. Okay, fine. So before we see what is server, what is Red Hat server and all the other things, let me just have some formal introduction actually so that you know what you can expect from me. Let me just open one more file here. Okay. So see here, friends. I'm Shakeel Aman here. Fine. I have, 14 plus years of experience in IT industry. I have experience on Windows servers, Linux servers, okay, networking, that is your CCNA, CCNP, CCI, virtualization, security, and cloud. So this is what I have done in my career in last 14, 15 years. Actually, I have worked on different domains and all these domains are connected with each other. Windows servers are connected with Linux servers. Okay, if you know the networking, you can work easily on some services on Windows and Linux. You can work easily on virtualization. You can work easily on cloud. Okay, if you know the security concept, say security concept will be there in cloud. Security concept will be there in Linux and networking. So all these things are interconnected with each other. Fine. So I have done this many things in my career. Okay. Now, as you know, this is a live session and the recording we have already started, I guess. Yeah, the recording is on. So every session is a live session and every session will be recorded. Fine. So at the end of the session, the recordings will be shared with you. So initially 2-3 demo sessions will be available on YouTube. DurgaSoft people have a YouTube channel. So there the sessions will be available. But after that, they will create a Google Drive and they will share all the sessions with you. Okay, fine. So don't worry about the recorded sessions and all those things. Now, in every session, what you need to maintain here is you need to maintain the, you know, interaction procedure. Means whenever you have a doubt, send your question in the chat box. Okay, so if you send your question in the chat box, it will be easy for me to come to your question and address your question. Okay, and at the end of the session, if you want to talk to me directly, you can simply unmute yourself and you can talk to me directly. But to keep these sessions more interactive, let us use our chat box, and from that particular chat box you can communicate with me. Okay, you can send all your queries and all your questions in that particular chat box. Got it? Okay, so this is your Linux administration. It will take around 40 days to complete. Fine. This is the one thing. Second thing is fee for this Linux administration will be 5,000 Indian rupees. If you're coming only for Linux, it will be 5,000. But if you want to come in a package, Linux plus AWS plus the Windows Server administration, obviously for some fees will be discounted. Okay, so as of now, the fees is this much, and each and every session is recorded here. Fine. You'll get some running notes in every class from my side. And at the end of the course, you will get some interview questions and answers. Majorly based on the Linux servers, you will get some interview questions and answers. Okay. So these are the things you can expect here, my friend. This is a major thing. Every session will be recorded and each and every session will be shared with you. So in case if you miss any session for some reason, you still have the recordings with you. So you can go through the recordings. You can come to the next session. Okay, better not to miss any class because second class is connected to third class, 15th class is connected to the 16th class. So if you miss yesterday's class, for example, and if you come today without preparing the yesterday session, maybe there are certain things which you cannot understand so easily. So because of this, recorded sessions are very much useful for your friends. Okay, so this is our course curriculum as course details actually. Totally 40 days and fees will be like 5,000. Every session will be recorded and running notes and the interview question answers will be shared from my side. Done. Now coming to the course curriculum, course syllabus, we have this particular syllabus here. So this is what we are learning actually. This is only for Linux administration, so just concentrate on Linux as of now. We'll be starting from the very basics of Linux. I am expecting zero knowledge from your side. If you know some basics of Linux, that is well and good. Maybe in your college, maybe in your bachelor's or master's degree, you might have learned something about Linux here. Okay, but still we'll start everything from basics. Okay, then we'll go to the server administration part or the system administration part. Then we will enter into the network administration. Okay, so we'll start from the basics. We'll enter into the system administration part. Then we will enter into the network administration part. So after completing all these concepts, actually, you will get at least 2 to 3 years of experience. Let's say if you want to add some experience in your resume, you can easily add up to 2 or let's say 2.5 years of experience. That much knowledge, that much understanding, that much confidence you will get in yourself. Okay. I will not recommend people to write like 3 years or more than 3 years of experience in the resume because once they go with 3 years or more than 3 years of experience in the resume, okay, obviously once you are selected, your salary, your package will be much better. But company is expecting a lot from you. Company will expect you to do many things because 3, 4, 5 years of experience is some time, right? So do not add that much experience in your resume and do not put lot of burden on yourself, lot of pressure on yourself. Just go in a simple and easy way. Just go with like 2 or 2.5 years of experience. That will be more than enough for you to crack a good job in any company. But again, for that, to mention 2 years of experience or 2.5 years of experience, you should be good in your particular technology. Whatever technology you're learning, you should be good in that particular technology. If you're good in that technology, then only you can put the experience there and then only you will get some better job there. Got it? So this is all about your course details, my friend. Okay, so coming to syllabus again, management will share the syllabus with you. Once we finish our introduction session, management people will share the syllabus so that you can go through the syllabus. And in case if you still have any doubts, you can come tomorrow and you can simply clear all your doubts. Fine. Now, let us move and let us see some, very basics of the Linux today. Okay, so this story is all about your operating system. Whenever you say the Linux server administration, you're talking about your Linux server operating system. But my friend, over the internet, over the globe, which operating system is the most famous operating system? Which operating system is the widely used operating system? The answer for that question is actually the Windows operating system is the most famous operating system. Which one? Windows operating system is the most famous operating system. In Windows, we have like two types of operating systems. Or in general, there are two types. One operating system is your client operating system, and the other operating system is your server operating system. These are the two major categories we have. See, we know this very well, right? Without a operating system, we cannot use a computer or a laptop, or we cannot even use a server or a mobile phone. every physical machine, we need a operating system for sure. Okay. So when you talk about your computers, laptops, and servers, there are basically two types of server operating systems. One is your client server. Basically, there are two types of operating systems. One is your client operating system, and other one is your server operating system. So client operating system is used in laptops and desktops. So if you analyze, there are more laptops and desktops in every company compared to servers, right? Or in our home also, what we do, we use our laptops and desktops. Have you ever seen anyone using a server in their home? Answer is no. Okay, so there are more laptops and desktops across the globe compared to servers. Let's say out of 100, maybe 70 to 75 are laptops and desktops, 20 to 25 are the servers. Okay, so the client operating system is the mostly used operating system, and in client, Microsoft Windows client operating system is the most popular operating system on the face of the earth. Whether it is Windows 10 or Windows 11, any OS, this is the most famous operating system. Okay, fine. So we are not here for the client operating system. We know how to use the client operating system. We are using client operating system for many years now, in our laptop and desktop. You know, when I started using the computer, I started using Windows 98 as my client operating system. After Windows 98 came Windows XP, then Windows 7, then Windows 8, then Windows 10. Now it is Windows 11. Actually, in middle, there were some other OS like, Vista was there, Millennium was there. There were some other operating system, but overall, whatever names I have mentioned there, these are the most famous operating systems. Fine. So like I said to my friend, we are not here for the client operating system. Everyone can use a client operating system. People who are in school, still in school, they also use the computers and they are also using the client operating system. Fine. Now, our course is on the server operating system. Now, in the server operating system category, there are two types of server operating systems. Or let us say there are two companies which provides you the server operating system. One company is your Windows servers, Microsoft Windows servers, and the other company is your Linux. There will be some more companies actually like Mac, and within Linux, there will be some other distributions like Red Hat or Ubuntu or Debian, okay, CentOS and some other things. But let us generalize everything today and let us call it as a Linux server operating system. In coming classes, we will see the distributions. What is Red Hat? What is Ubuntu? What is Fedora? What is Debian? We'll see all the other things in our coming classes. Okay. So as of now, Windows Server operating system is there and the Linux Server operating system is there. Now the question here is, out of these two server operating systems, which operating system is the most famous, most popular? Now let me answer you one thing, my friend, first. We are learning the Linux server administration here, but with this Linux server administration, I'll be providing some of my recorded sessions of Windows Server administration. Got it? I'll be providing some of the free Windows Server administration recorded sessions from my side. Okay. So if you do a survey across the globe, 90 to 95% servers across the globe, they are either using a Linux server or the Windows server. See, I'm saying 95% or maybe let's say more than 95% cases, in every server across the globe, it will be a Linux server operating system or Windows Server operating system. So probably next 2 months, you will be getting the Linux Server administration training here, as well as you will be getting the Windows Server there. Once you do this, you're eligible to get a job in more than 90% companies. And that's a big thing, my friend. More than 90% companies. For example, if I say, let's say I know Chinese language, I can visit China. Maybe I can get a job in China. I can communicate with the Chinese people. But what about countries like India, Australia, USA, Brazil, Russia, UK, all these places? Will they speak Chinese there? Probably no. But what if I know English? Whatever names I have mentioned now, I can visit every country, right? I can visit in every country. I can apply for a job there. I can apply for the citizenship, maybe whatever things. So English is a language that is the most spoken language, that is the most famous language anyway, compared to Chinese, right? So Linux server operating systems and Windows server operating systems are like English. These are the two servers which are literally there in every company across the globe. We cannot imagine a company setup without these two. Okay, so I hope it is clear now. Linux server operating system and the Windows server operating systems are there in more than 95% companies across the globe. Okay, now from now we are specially talking about our server operating systems only. Client operating systems, we know this very well. Client operating systems are designed only to run on a client machine, that is on a laptop, on a desktop. That is not the discussion for today, and that is not the discussion for all the coming days. Our discussion is on the server operating system. Okay, it is majorly on our server operating system. Okay, fine. Now, how to decide which one is more famous? Is it Windows servers or is it your Linux server? See, there is a competition between Windows Server and Linux Server for last 2-3 decades, and the competition will still remain there for many more decades to come. You know, whenever you talk about football, at least in last 12-15 years, what you do, friends? In last 12 to 15 years, whenever you talk about football, you talk about Messi and Ronaldo, right? There was a competition between these two players, but now probably they both will be retiring within a year or so. So the competition will change between some other people, right? Maybe media will take 2-3 more famous footballers and then they will do the competition or the comparison maybe between those two, three people. But coming to the Windows and Linux servers, the comparison between Windows and Linux servers and the competition between Windows and Linux server is there for last 3 decades. From 1990s till today, the competition is there between Windows and Linux server. And like I said to my friend, for many more years to come, many more decades to come, the competition will still remain between your Microsoft Windows servers and the Linux servers. Okay, so we will address a very simple and very important question today. That is how we can decide between Microsoft servers and the Linux servers, which server is more famous. Remember I told you guys, more than 95% cases in a company, it will be Windows or Linux. Okay, accept it. That is accepted. But if there are 100 servers in a company, out of these 100 servers, on how many servers they go with a Windows server operating system and on how many servers they go with a Linux server operating system. This is one point we will address today. So how to decide which is more famous? Let us see. If you do some small comparison there, my friend, it will be easy for you to decide which is the most famous operating system. Okay. So before I go there, you know what is the operating system? We have already seen this, right? It is a interface between a user and the hardware. What is OS? Operating system is the interface between a user and a hardware. Who is the user here? User is you and me. And what is the hardware here? Hardware is your server. Hardware is your laptop. Okay. Now, what is the work of operating system? Okay, fine. It is the interface. But what exactly it will do? See, whatever tasks are possible on a computer or a laptop or a server, everything is possible because of our operating system. For example, you know, maybe yesterday you might have created a file or a folder in your computer. Maybe yesterday you have accessed some internet from your computer. Okay. Maybe yesterday you have deleted something from your computer. Okay. Maybe yesterday you have downloaded something in your computer. So this downloading, creating, deleting, accessing, configuration, everything is possible because of our operating system. Isn't it? Everything is possible because of our operating system. So if there is no operating system, I cannot download anything. I cannot create a file. I cannot delete a file. I cannot edit a file. I cannot open any audio or video file. I cannot do any browsing. So operating system is indeed the base of our machine. Okay. Now, when you talk about your Windows Server operating system or Linux Server operating system, what they do the same task. They will allow us to connect to the server and use that server machine. What we can do in a server machine? In a server machine, we can run applications like a web server, a mail server, a file server, a banking server, or any server. A server operating system is used to run a particular application. Now, just imagine, my friend, in last 2 days, 3 days, what you did in your mobile phone. You might have paid some money through PhonePe or Google Pay. You might have ordered something on Flipkart or Amazon. You might have, booked your cab. You might have ordered some food using Ola or Swiggy. You might have sent a message or received a message on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. So yeah, my friend, you might have played some game there. You went to YouTube. All these things are actually under the application category. They all are under this application category. Okay, so we use a Windows Server operating system and a Linux server operating system to run these applications. There is no application on the internet where it is running without a operating system. That is literally not possible. So we need a server operating system to run all these applications. Okay, now coming back to the main question. What was the question? Which one is better? Is it Windows or is it Linux? On which particular server applications can run very well? On which particular server applications can perform very well? By the way, we are learning both the servers, right? We will be learning the Linux server in our running classes, regular classes, and we will be getting some recorded sessions of Windows. So at the end of the day, you are getting both the sessions. You are getting both the servers. There is the advantage for you in this particular course. But still, we need to see which is the most famous, which has upper hand compared to the other operating system. Now for that, I just need to go and show you some basic functions. We'll come to all these things in coming classes. But as of now, let me just highlight some features of Linux so that you can understand why Linux is the most famous operating system. Even, popular than the Windows operating system. Now I'm talking about servers here. Forget about clients. Client is a OS, that is there on every laptop and desktop. Now we are specially talking about the server OS. So my question here is, out of these two OS, Windows servers and Linux servers, which server is the most famous? Now let me just highlight some of the major points of the Linux. To begin with, it is the open source operating system, and it is a free operating system. You know what is the meaning of open source? Open source operating system means now you can go to redhat.com, you can download this Red Hat operating system, you can install this Red Hat operating system in your server, you can run the application there. No one will ask you anything there, my friend. It is open source and free. Free means no one will ask you to pay any money. Your Linux server operating system is completely free. As of now, let us say it is completely free. Coming to Windows Server operating system, Windows Server operating systems are not free. We have to pay money. Windows Server operating systems are probably free up to like 180 days. That is for 6 months. Once these 180 days are over, we have to pay money and we have to use this Windows Server OS. But coming to Linux, maybe someone has installed the Linux Server operating system in the year 2014. So for last 10 years, he is using this operating system for free. He has not paid any money to anyone. That is free. Got it? So one difference between Windows and Linux is Windows is a paid operating system. It is free only up to like 180 days, but Linux is free from day one to like for how many days you use, it is free. Now the second difference here is Linux is an open source operating system, means you can simply take your Linux operating system and you can make changes in Linux operating system according to your requirement. Open source means what? We can make changes in our Linux operating system. Can we make changes in the Windows operating system architecture? Answer is no. We cannot make changes in the Windows Server operating system architecture. But coming to the Linux server architecture, we can make all the necessary changes what we need. In your company, you're using Red Hat, let's say the latest one. That is what we are learning, 9.x version. In my company also, let us say I'm using the 9.x version. I'll be using both the versions. Okay, 9.x or 8.x or whatever. So let's say you're using 9.x, I'm using 9.x version here. But you know, my friend, you can modify the operating system according to your requirement. I can modify the operating system according to my requirement. So when we install the operating system, our operating system is same. It is similar. But today, you've changed many things in the operating system according to your need, according to your requirement. And the same thing I did in my server operating system, the Linux server operating system. Now, this feature is a very excellent feature, my friend. It will allow us to make changes inside the operating system according to our need. But let us say we are using Windows operating system. The latest one is Windows Server 2022. So the architecture of Windows Server 2022 in your server, in your company, in my server, in my company is absolutely same. We cannot make the changes in the design of your Windows server. We cannot make the changes in the architecture of the Windows servers. So it is same in your server, it is same in my server. So when a hacker is trying to hack my Windows server, you know what is there in my Windows server as well as you know what is there inside your Windows server. Architecture is completely same. But when a hacker is trying to access or trying to hack my Linux server, you know, I can make changes in the Linux server. You also did changes in the Linux server. So it is not easy for a hacker to hack the Linux server. I'm not saying impossible, but compared to the Windows server, it is much more difficult for a hacker to simply hack a Linux server. Windows are same everywhere. In Linux, it is open source. You can design everything on your own. If you want to use the default structure, you can use the default structure. But you know, in most of the big companies, they will make changes in the Linux server according to their requirement. These are the two major differences, my friend. One is you can make changes, and the second one is Linux is free and Windows is not free. If you say these are the only two differences, more than enough for me to decide to go with the Linux operating system, that's it. You can decide on these two differences only. Okay, there are many more differences we will see, but as of now, what I'm saying here is, if you have already decided to go with these two differences, this is the best decision you can take for your company. Linux servers are the most famous because there is more security in them. It is free operating system and it is open source. Because we can make changes inside this, it is a open source operating system. Because we can make changes inside this, that is the reason it is more secure operating system. Got it? This is something about Linux server operating system. Okay, so probably we'll again rejoin tomorrow. Tomorrow is also a demo session. It will be again a free session. By using the same link, you can join this session tomorrow as well. Okay, so hopefully we'll expect more people tomorrow. And probably we can go a bit deep into our session tomorrow. Okay, so as of now, this was some basic introduction about your server operating system, or let's say in general, the operating system. So let me do small revision here. What is operating system? It is the interface between a user and a hardware. Without operating system, we cannot use a computer, right? How many types of OS are there? One OS is your client OS, and the other OS is your server OS. Client OS is used in laptop and desktop, right? So this is the most famous operating system. We have laptops and desktops, client OS, right? Coming to server OS, there are two types again. One is your Windows Server OS, and the other one is your Unix or Linux Server OS. Now, if you compare Windows and Linux, which one is more famous? Linux is open source. Linux is free to use. Linux is providing more security. So compared to Windows and Linux, Linux is the most famous OS, most famous server OS. Does it mean Windows is not used? No, Windows has its own, advantages. Windows has its own features. You cannot see a company without a feature called Active Directory actually. So Active Directory is a feature which is there within your Windows servers. So Windows also has its own advantages, but when you compare, my friend, when you do the comparison, Linux server is obviously having the upper hand compared to the Windows server. So I have mentioned couple of you know differences here. Like Linux server is a open source, it is a free operating system, and it is more secure compared to Windows. If you just remember these points, it will be very easy for you to choose a operating system for your company. But see, at the end of the day, whether it is Windows server or Linux server, you're running your application there, like email server. You can run email server on a Windows server as well as Linux server. File server, file server. Database server, database server. Web server, web server. Okay. Banking server, banking server. Any application server, any application server. So literally every application can be run on both the servers. But again, we need to decide where the application performance is better, where the cost is less, where it is more secure. So if you consider all these things, you will see Linux servers are running on approximately 80 to 85% servers on internet. That is a very big number, my friend, right? 80 to 85% or probably more than 85% actually. We have Linux servers running over the internet. Okay, so that is what you will be learning in this particular course. So next approximately 40 days, we'll be learning only on the Linux server administration. Obviously, we have to do comparisons, then only we can learn the things very easily because you know something about Windows, right? Maybe you don't have any knowledge of Windows server operating system, but at least you know about the Windows client operating system. So you know some basics of Windows Server operating system. So those basics will help you a lot in learning and understanding the concept of Linux server. Okay. So in future, my friend, whatever courses you are planning to go with, whatever technology, whatever you are interested in, let's say cloud computing or networking or programming, DevOps, cyber security, whatever things you are interested in, my friend. For all these things, Linux is one of the most famous prerequisites. Is there anything we need to learn before Linux to learn Linux? No. As a fresher from any XYZ background, you can start learning about Linux server administration from today itself. There is no problem. But to learn something like cybersecurity, cloud computing, virtualization, probably programming, networking, DevOps, and all those things, you need Linux server for sure. So there should be two reasons with you to learn the Linux administration. One is to make a career in Linux administration. There is one reason, and the second reason is to upgrade yourself or to move into the bigger technologies. You need to learn the Linux administration. I'm just mentioning these two reasons. I can take a demo. Actually, I can take a complete session why you should learn the Linux on this particular topic only. I can take a complete session. Okay. So as a person in the IT industry, as a person in the administration, especially if you want to succeed in your career, try to make friendship with the Linux server operating system. Try to learn as many things as much as possible from the Linux server operating system. Linux is past, Linux is present, and Linux is obviously the future. You cannot imagine any technology coming today which is not related to Linux, which is not connected to Linux, which is not running on Linux. This is such an important part of our career, my friend. Like I said, if you're only interested in Linux administration, well and good. Today is the first day. Welcome. Welcome to this journey. Okay. And in case if you're interested in cloud computing or DevOps or cyber security, to go there, the first thing is we need to go with the Linux administration. There are no ifs and buts here, my friend. I hope I am very crystal clear here. There are no ifs and buts. You just need to learn Linux. If you know basics, that's not sufficient, my friend. Maybe if you have some operating system in your college, whatever you did in your university, then maybe you know something about Linux servers, there's some basics. But like I said to my friend, that is not at all sufficient. You have to go with the administration part. Okay, so that is what we will learn. Okay, so let us keep this session short and sweet. I'll be just, I'm not going more into this session today. Hopefully tomorrow when we come, we will just try to see more about operating systems and more about the Linux server operating systems. Okay, Fine. So as of now, if you have any doubt, any question, feel free to send your question in chat box or you can interact with me directly. Okay, so this session is done for the day. We'll meet again tomorrow at same time, probably with more people. More people will be joining, hopefully at least tomorrow. Anyhow, if no one is joining, if 1 or 2 people, 3, 4, 5 people are still there, I'll be still conducting the demo session tomorrow and we'll be still, okay, moving into a bit more details of our Linux servers. I just want to say one thing, my friend. Keep Linux as your #1 priority when you start learning any technology and administration. Be good in Linux, you will be good in many other technologies actually. If you're weak in Linux, you will struggle in all the other technologies. That is open fact. So do not take this Linux operating system as a basic. Do not learn only the basics. Go with the administration. Okay. That's it for the day, friends. I'm here for like at least, 30 more seconds. If you have any doubt from your side, let us, clear everything and we can log off for today. And we'll meet again tomorrow at same time, 7 a.m. India Standard Time with more details of Linux servers. Over to you guys now. Let me add one more thing here. Probably, once we start our regular classes, I'll share my WhatsApp number so that, whenever you have any doubt, you can ping me on that WhatsApp number and probably I'll be helping you on that WhatsApp number. I'll share my WhatsApp number so that, while doing practicals, if you have any doubt, you can interact with me directly. It is only for messages, but still, small suggestions and small support or small clearing of a doubt can be a very big advantage for you while learning something. Sometimes, you're stuck somewhere. You went to Google or YouTube, you're not able to understand what exactly Google or YouTube is showing you there. So if you interact with a person, interaction is the best way of learning, right? So if you can interact with a person, that small point that I'll be helping you will help you a lot in understanding the major concepts. Okay, fine. So that's it for the day, friends. I guess there are no questions. We'll stop the session here. We'll meet again tomorrow. Join the tomorrow session with the same link. The link will be same for at least a couple of more days. So join the session with the same link and probably we'll go a bit deep about our Linux administration tomorrow. Done. Thanks a lot, friends. Take care.